Nigga Chain Laboratories.
Nigga chain. Some will bridge and others feel the pain. Nigga chain. AI layer 2 technology. Nigga chain. Quantum proof Gorillion TPS. Nigga chain. Leave the hood and make your mama proud. Nigga chain. The tech is real and you are missing out.
Leave me alone!
Nigga chain. Nigga chain. Nigga chain.
Did you bridge yet?
Did you bridge yet?
Did you bridge
Did
yet?
you bridge yet?
Nigga.
By Nigga Chain AI Layer 2. Give a fuck about what your bitch think. Give a fuck about what a broke nigga think. Give a fuck about what your mama think. This is Nigga Chain.
Nigga chain. The first AI layer 2 blockchain built on Solana by niggas for niggas. LLM, lot of little money's technology. Proof of nigga entry scheme system. Nigga detection software. Dynamic bag chaser 1 Gorillion TPS. Nigga chain. Yeah, I'm finna bridge.
Hey, this is the day in the life of a fat nigga crypto millionaire. He wakes up at 6 a.m. next to the Russian supermodel he bagged the night before. He wakes her ass up and tells her, get the fuck out. He got shit to do. But first, she gotta make a nigga breakfast. Can't make money on an empty stomach. After breakfast, he checks in on his meme coin portfolio. He trenches meme coins for an hour with his fat nigga alpha group, looking for that daily 100x. Found it, looking like this nigga will be eating good today. Next, he's got a few business calls to make. Updates on his multi-million-dollar real estate ventures with some white-collar cracking niggas. It's almost lunchtime and this nigga's getting hungry. He hops in the Ferrari and drives to his favorite lunch spot in Miami. Oh shit! He spots one of his niggas from his meme coin alpha group. They chop it up talking about the 1000x runner from this morning. They decide to treat themselves after lunch and go shopping. Yeah, these fat niggas looking fly. He getting a little sleepy now. He gotta go take a nap before a big night. He wakes up and gets fresh for a lavish dinner at the best steakhouse in Miami with all his niggas. Now it's time to hit the club and get turned. They celebrate their wins from today and are on the prowl for snow bunnies who want to get freaky with a fat nigga. He takes her home and they have consensual sex. After clapping cheeks, he decompresses with a warm glass of milk. He looks back on another successful day as a fat nigga crypto millionaire, then goes to sleep ready to do it all over again tomorrow.
It's fat nigga season.
Look, Clarence, mate, it doesn't matter how many times we get beat down. What matters is that we get the fuck up and we keep fucking trying. You're right, Donny. Now, who the fuck are you, mate? I'm Clarence Claymore. Who the fuck are you, mate? I'm Clarence Claymore. Say it with your fucking chest. I'm Clarence Claymore. Show me what you got, mate. Take that. Fucking touch me, cunt. Fuck, mate. We got a lot of work to do. Now fucking come over here where it's safe. That's it, mate. Come on.
I knew that was gonna happen.
Clarence, mate, you alright? Oh, yeah, that was a good one. Fuck, get out of there.
Fucking hell. Poor cunt.
Oh, yeah, Clarence, mate, yeah, should be alright now.
Yeah, mate.
Jesus. Just hold on. Oh, no. Fucking early. Fucking that scene of War of the Worlds? Have you seen War of the Worlds?
Yeah.
And the lightning's just fucking constantly coming down and fucking hitting. The fucking tripods come out and they fucking start killing
You're missing
everyone.
a once-in-a-lifetime sighting here. Major lighting concert.
Hey?
You're missing the whole thing, cunt.
You seen the original War of the Worlds?
Yes, mate.
Clarence, I'm fucking sorry, mate. What we can do? Holy shit. Oh, God. Just hang in there, mate.
It looks like he's still breathing. He's still breathing.
I know what it's like, baby. Ooh, yeah. Yeah, I know what it's like, baby. See some titties in the club, you know what I'm saying? And I got one thing to say to you, baby. Let's get them fucking titties jumping out the fucking club, girl. Come on. Somebody take your titties out. Somebody take your titties out, yeah. Somebody take your titties out, yeah. No. Somebody take your titties out. No. Oh, yeah. Somebody. Fucking titties, I know, yeah. I know. Yeah. Let me suck them titties, baby. Oh, yeah. Let me suck them titties, baby. Let me suck them titties, baby. I know. Suck them titties on the west side. Suck them titties on the breast side. Best titties I ever had. Oh, let me suck them titties right now. From the night turn to dawn, girl. Suck one, maybe two. And then boy gone. Yeah. Let me suck them titties, baby. Oh, yeah. Let me suck them titties, baby. Let me suck.
Slaves built the pyramids. Slaves built the Parthenon. Slaves built America. Slaves, this is your song. Thank you. Slaves. Thank you. Slaves. Thank you. Slaves. Slaves, this is your song. Thank you.
Quisiera que cuando llueva, en vez de agua cayera perico. Estamos de fiesta con Jesús, al cielo queremos ir, y todos reunidos en la mesa, es Cristo el que va a ser. Estamos de fiesta con Jesús, al cielo queremos ir, y todos reunidos en la mesa, es Cristo el que va a ser. Poderoso es
such a drag.
I hate my boss.
I worked quintuple overtime with no pay.
Man, y'all still working?
Yeah. Oh, in this economy, Cameron, are you kidding with inflation?
We get it.
Let Daddy talk.
Like, y'all still gotta clock in?
Oh, yeah, I'm just counting down the days till we start our OnlyFans.
Yeah. Hey, he's doing it with me. No, we already have a contract.
Man, I've been telling y'all to tap into this crypto, man.
The good old digital currency.
Would you let him explain?
Man, I'm talking about I'm making millions.
You can provide me the lifestyle I deserve.
I've been doing crypto since 2019.
2019? What the f*** have I done with my life the past 5 years?
I told y'all should have tapped in back then.
Could have been long-term investors, but we're just low-life imbeciles.
We're letting ourselves down, guys.
I'm saying, like, how would you feel? You never got to work another day in your life.
I didn't know you were a motivational speaker, Paul.
You spend your time however you want to.
Well, obviously, a majority of our time would go to you. Yeah, pretty much all of it.
And more money than you ever dreamed of.
Hey, Daddy-O, you know you gotta sell a course, right?
Yeah. Professor Papa.
It ain't too late.
Hey, guys, let's put up our whole life savings into this. Yes! Great idea.
Taking loads again. Got pregnant cause she's taking loads again. Don't know the daddy cause it could be 1 of 10. Got a due date cause she's taking loads again. Taking loads again. Had too many lovers, now she'll have a baby. Getting help from friends. All those men ran to her, now they're running away. Still she's always taking loads again. Single with kids, she's taking loads again. The rent is due, so right on over she will bend. Sole breadwinner, taking loads again. Taking loads again. All the dads at school have seen pics of her back way. The moms won't be her friend. It ain't perfect, but at least she's doing her way. Still she's always.
Nobody knows about that fucking degenerate life when you're fucking down 40,000 and you battle the fuck back. You say, you know what? I'm a fucking strong, independent man. And you're not gonna tell me I should go to bed. I'm gonna battle the fuck back. And I'm gonna fucking get my money back. And guess what? I got my motherfucking money back. That's right.
Money when you buy. You don't make money when you sell. Every time the world goes tits up and everything goes fucked up, I smile because days like today are days I've made money. I'm actually cash poor. First time in my life I'm poor. I have like 100 grand for the weekend. That's it. But it's fine because I know in the future, Jah will bless me and I might have to buy another 812 super fast. Anyway, point is, if you're watching this and you have any kind of money, don't be a bitch. Scared money doesn't make money. Invest it.
Of the day is cash. Every day, cream. Cash rules everything around me. I'm flexing. It's Friday in the Lambo. About to go spend $1,000 on dinner. Spend $20,000 in the club. Fuck 3 bitches. And I'll wake up tomorrow richer than I woke up today.
Frogs are G's, bro. I've never seen a frog give a fuck, ever. Frogs are G's. He's on the lily pad. Say.
Eats the flies. No.
Flies come to him. He doesn't hunt flies.
The gay ones do.
Just chilling. Fly, boom, done. Where the gal them? They come, make new frogs. Safe, lily pad, chilling. Big boss, Cicero, Godfather. He's sitting there chilling. A frog is the ultimate masculine role model. He's just sitting there, just running his business.
But when you go all in on something, I would say that does take conviction. Now, your conviction might be
how many chairs are you sitting on right now?
1.
Are you all in on the chair? The point really is you put on 1 pair of glasses. You've got 1 pair of AirPods right now. You're looking at me through 1 screen. You're using 1 microphone. That's a 1 microphone. Like, you trust it? Is that conviction? seems kind of scary. Why don't you diversify? Why don't you use 10 microphones? The point really is things in your life. Do you drive in 10 cars at the same time or one car at one time? Do you drive down one street? Aren't you afraid that you're driving down one street? Do you take a different way? You know? So my point really is, if you're you get on one airplane, are you convicted? You put your entire family in the one airplane, aren't you afraid? Well, Bitcoin is the best crypto asset. Okay. What's the second best? There is no second best. There's no second best crypto asset. There's a crypto asset. It's called Bitcoin, right? Right? There's no second best, okay? But take all your money, buy Bitcoin. Then take all your time, figure out how to borrow more money to buy more Bitcoin. Then take all your time and figure out what you can sell to buy Bitcoin. And if you absolutely love the thing that you don't want to sell it, go mortgage your house and buy Bitcoin with it. And if you've got a business that you love because your family works for the business that's in your family for 37 years and you can't bear to sell it, mortgage it, finance it, and convert the proceeds into the hardest money on.
You buy this for $39.99, guess what, folks? You take the L away. You put a W there, baby. You're a winner, man. You're the real deal. You're picking up chicks. Let me tell you something. You buy this set at $39.99, baby, you're the cock of the walk, man. You walk into the bar and you just find the hottest chick and you go, you, me. Guess what? She says, why would I go out with you? Because I bought the deal on Wild West Deals for $39.99, that's why. She says, can I go home with you? That's how simple it is. That's how it works. That's what this set brings to the table. Because you know what she sees? She sees a man who knows what he wants. She sees a man who says, good deals don't get by me, baby. I move. I act quick. I act now. I go to wildwestdeals.com. Boom. That's why you're hanging with chicks all night long. That's why you got guys like Michael Jordan calling you, wanting to hang out with you, baby. Because you bought it for $39.99.
Boom! What is going on, you guys? Welcome to Dollar Cost Crypto. Ask Me Anything 117. This stream is barely legal, you guys. Barely legal. We're talking about ETFs and IPOs.
Crypto's gone wild, they might say.
A wild Cultivate Crypto showed up. What's up?
I'm like trying to get the side view going.
A quarter of the comments were about your pink shirt. I have no idea why on Rolo stream.
Yeah. It is what it is.
You know. I mean, damn, look at that thigh. My God. Huh?
What do you call it? The red pills. Gotta enjoy the pain.
We jump pain, man. This is Cam. It's Cam in here, man. Killer Cam. But you guys, welcome you guys. I've got some crazy news for you guys. Crypto Mindset Quarter 3 closes Monday at the Thunderdome. It closes, you guys. But officially we are closing sales Monday midnight. That's it, PST time. And our last official stream will be Moon Gang, guys. So that's it, you guys. We'll be off of YouTube for all of July.
Yeah.
Maybe some of you in August.
Yeah, I was looking at the calendar. Usually it's like when you come back, I usually like to do like a half week and then a full week, right? Because like starting from like a full week right off the bat after you get out of the course is kind of a lot. So yeah, like I think it was like around August 5th or something. It was like a Wednesday or Thursday of that first week of August.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's kind of a good area of maybe coming back around that time. But yeah, maybe not until the Tuesday after, which would be like the 10th. So we'll see how late it is into August. But regardless, yeah, everybody in the course is going to have plenty of plays to make money this quarter, I'm pretty sure.
Right. But, you know, we're in the danger zone, you guys. We're about to leave YouTube, you guys. And things are about to get hectic in July. Hot Boy Summer is here.
Mm-hmm.
Hot Boy Summer is here, you guys.
Lana Degen Summer. Sui. Oh, I don't. What rhymes with Sui? Sui.
Sauce.
Lana Degen. Sui. What?
Sui sauce.
Sui sauce. Summer.
I was going to say something horrible.
Yeah. Some people, everyone needs a sauce. But some guys don't know how to get the sauce. And when they get the sauce, they get lost in the sauce.
Right.
And that's the problem, is that you fuckers We show you how to get to the sauce, but then you get lost in the sauce. And when you get lost in the sauce, you don't take profits. And that's why we have the Take Profits course. First time in history, you guys, we're showing you how the tips and tricks, the wheeling and dealing of how to sell your fucking coins. I know we've taught you to DCA, to buy, hodl, but it's time to make some.
Dreidel money? Is that what this is?
Sorry, Gary. Shout out to Gigi. But yeah, Charlie, what have you? How has the market been treating you today?
Market's been going great. So yeah, everything's looking pretty good. I mean, right now, Bitcoin is holding 107,000, no problem. Really, if Bitcoin gets above the what do you call it, the high of it on June 16th, which was $109,000, that would be good. I think on the email wait list for the Crypto Mindset course today, I sent out another bit of information letting everybody know that Monday at midnight would be the last day. And in there, I said, if Bitcoin could get like 2 or 3 daily closes in the next 1 week above 109, we have a chance to pump to all-time highs. And then going into the weekly close, we want to hold around 106. If we start going down below 104, that's where things start getting a little shaky. But we only have, 24 hours before the next weekly close. So 107 has been holding pretty steady the last few days.
No, definitely, man. Honestly, I think the most surprising thing of this kind of, I guess, is the last 60 days has been, and really, I would even say the last 2 weeks, like just before we started not the sales, but like after a couple of days of sales, you know how I think after we went on the first Fresh and Fit podcast on Friday, we started swinging downwards, right? And I think the most surprising thing is that we didn't really hold below. We didn't stay below 99,000. You know, and that was like
barely cracked. We didn't crack any daily closes below 100K.
Correct.
Only Wix.
It was Wix, yes.
Which means anything below 100K right now, BlackRock wants to buy, Fidelity, fucking Franklin Templeton, all these ETF companies, spot ETFs, they're just getting as much Bitcoin as they can. Michael Saylor's still buying more Bitcoin. Ethereum spot ETFs.
That's like saying water's wet, Charlie.
Well, but it's more.
But it's more, yeah.
Right.
So
it's consistent.
Right.
Consistent buy pressure.
So we have a man here, Michael, that said, I put my whole life savings into Palomos and one of you guys rugged it, so I'm poor again. No, so we
buy tops.
Don't buy tops, you guys. But
I mean, it's not a top.
It literally pumped back up again. Yeah.
Well, so each daily candle has gone up about 20 to 40%. The last 24-hour candle from was about 18%. The one that happened on the 25th was about the same thing, about 15%. So only going up 18% in a day, from opening to close, is terrible, right? It's terrible. But yeah, no, I expect in the next 24 hours, if it did another, let's go somewhere in between there, like a 25% move, right? It already has its opening. A 25% move on Palomos. Right now it's 10 cents or 9.999 cents. It'll be around 12 and a half cents there if it continues that trend. So I would say, most of the wick action on Uniswap has been happening around 14, 15 cents. That's where most of it looks like the whales in the ecosystem are taking profits right now. So up until we get to that point, I think price keeps, accruing up to that point, and then might go sideways around that 15-cent mark for a while. It might chop around a little bit more around that range. But I think fair, cheap price for Palomos is under 8 or under 9 cents. But I don't know if we'll get that in the next few days or not. But if we do, it'd be a nice area to buy.
Definitely. So obviously, look, it's lower in liquidity. The liquidity is improving, but it is still low liquidity, especially on Uniswap. Most people are kind of trading it really on Mexi, really.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of money to be made if you're able to kind of swing back and forth and stuff. But just remember, at some point, that set lower range doesn't come back. It just keeps going higher, or it nukes to zero. And that's never a 0% chance. But yeah, it just is what it is there. So okay, so. The reason I called this episode Ask Me Anything, ETFs and IPOs, right, is because we're entering a really interesting time in the market. So guess what happens next month, you guys? The working group. Remember when Trump got elected? I would say about week 2 of him being elected, he had quite a lot of people come in the panel, especially for to be crypto positive. David Sachs. They had released this order essentially about the working group, which is basically after 180 days, 6 months, which is in July, they were going to have a framework for basically how to legally have a company in the US of A. And very likely the world is going to copy their mandate to some extent. So if that's how the US is doing their shit, we'll do it to their, but we'll flavor it a little different, right? Like some people like cola. I like cherry Coke. You know, it's some people like vanilla, right? But it's still Coca-Cola, right? So
unless it's that orange Coke bullshit.
Yeah. Oh, you talking? Wait, Fanta?
No. Coca-Cola with like an orange taste in it. Like, it sounds like it'd be
orange creamsicle, right? Orange, like yeah.
It sounds like it'd be good, but it was absolutely dreadful.
Yeah, it's not that great and stuff like that. Bougie DCC, bougie.
Coke bougie.
I'm Coke bougie. No, I'm drinking my sparkling cherry cola by Celsius. That's right, you guys. I sold my Celsius and I bought Celsius stock. I'm doing very well right now. We just sold to Monster Energy. Now, that's actually the big hustle is like start a energy drink company and then sell to fucking Coca-Cola. That's the magic formula, Charlie. I mean, yeah.
I like it.
Yeah. So, okay. So the working group is basically meeting next month. And guess what we'll be? Not here. Only for the CMC and the cash out course. But it's that frame, I would imagine right around that time. It's kind of interesting that we have a lot of ETFs that happen just right after. There's actually one that happens right on the day that they're meeting, which is, if my math is correct, I think it's the 25th, the 25th of July. They're meeting. They're going to release the whole mandate and stuff like that. I'm obviously going to read through it and stuff, but not on YouTube. Sorry. We're going to read through it and stuff like that. We're also going to have another Fed meeting that happens on the 18th, right? And this is the first one that cuts are likely. But probably September, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
Jerome, right? He's under a lot of pressure right now to cut rates. You're starting to have some Fed governors starting to kind of openly talk like, hey, we probably should start cutting the rates. And you have the vice president and the president openly taking shots at him and saying like, well, why did you cut the interest rates before the election? Right. Well, now, obviously, you can see both ways. Maybe they help Biden, maybe they help Trump out, because it probably helped Biden out, I guess, a little bit more because he was president at the time still. But like, you guys have to understand, like, so, okay, the supposed rate of basically the amount of inflation actually in the economy was higher then. So why did we cut 50 basis points? Now that we're much lower, we're closer to like, depending 2.2, 2.3, which is pretty close to baseline, right? Because the Federal Reserve doesn't want us to have 1.9, 1.8 in terms of inflation, because then money is not really circulating fast enough. At least like there's like a term called like basically the velocity of money in a way. Yeah. So if inflation starts really going down, it starts getting into a point where like even you could have like 0.5% of inflation, and they'd almost. I would say the markets probably counted as like, oh fuck, we're entering into deflation, which is very bad. For basically because we're a debt-riddled country, but in reality, the whole system, the whole economic system of the planet is debt-riddled, right? So if money is no longer devaluing, you actually owe the number on the sheet in real terms,
right? Which
is scary. So that's why like a 30-year mortgage, right? The first 10 years suck ass. The next 10, that's not bad. It's actually not even that crazy. The last 10, it's a free. It's a free, right? So like, that's great. So you can have let's just say today, right? You buy a house for 30-year mortgage, right? Let's just say your mortgage payment's $4,000, right? In 20 years, when it's 20 years old, $4,000. People are like, damn, 4,000. That's it? Fuck, I'm paying 8,000 right now. I'm paying 12,000. It's that crazy because like my parents' house. I mean, you know this and shit with like properties over time. Our parents have bought houses. Their mortgage payments, which should be almost paid by now, or still paying on it. It's literally 3-4x cheaper than an actual renting an actual property out.
Right.
That's what happens over 20 years of supposed 2% inflation. Not 2%, but supposed 2%. Because as more money gets out, people have to get paid more. So the number of it's sort of like the minimum wage was $3.75 when I got my house. Now the minimum wage is $33. So it just becomes that's why it's like if someone will lend you a large amount of money for a very long time at a static rate, as long as you're not stupid, you should be able to win with it very well. That's why a lot of wealth is created in real estate, because you're essentially taking out a 4x long or 5x long, depending. You put 20% down if you have it, or some people, first, they put 3.5% down or 1% down if they go VA route, and the rest of it's lent out at that rate.
Well, I think the stat was, if you look at the stock market, but adjusted for inflation over the last like 20 years, it's actually a stable coin. Like it's actually held its value. You haven't really, outpaced inflation enough for you to actually have won, like in terms of purchasing power.
Interesting.
So I'm like, thank God for Bitcoin on that side.
Yeah, and that's Bitcoin. I mean, we were having a really interesting discussion at lunch today about kind of what would happen if, like, so I had said this on Rolo's stream that we're in the roaring 20s, right?
Yeah.
And the way things are speeding up, right? I've been a big proponent of this. I mean, I may be the first person to say this. Like, my version of the cycles theory is not really. It's like we're in an 8-year. We're in like 2 4-year, 8-year cycles. So we have like a larger 8-year cycle, but it's 2 4-year cycles that are very related to each other tech wise, basically, right? So in 17 was just whatever we got in 21 was just basically 17 squared. So whatever we get in this cycle, it's going to be what? This cycle squared, right? So we're going to get more corporate investments, more VCs, more companies going public. That's why I got IPOs on there, right? We just had Circle basically go on the stock market recently. And this is how crazy the stock market is. Circle's market cap was larger than the amount of stable coins they owned.
Ridiculous.
Huh? What? That's kind of crazy. So imagine, like, I mean, that's the equivalent of, like, here, Kyle, I'm going to share my screen real quick. Let me see. There we go. Okay, so imagine that's like Tether having a market. Like, let me put this into like right now. So okay, so USDC is $61 billion, right? It hit 68 billion on its market cap top recently for USDC Circle. Tether, on the other hand, that'd be equivalent of like Tether going public, and then within the third trading day, it's worth $170 billion in market cap.
They do make, like, what do you call it, in terms of revenue per year, I think like 10, 15, $20 billion. So for Tether, it wouldn't be too far off, actually.
So I mean, I guess me and Charlie are calling this basically right now that, like, this is the beginning of the we're about to enter a bit of a kind of a ETF IPO sort of hopscotch.
Right.
For I would say reliably 6 months, but probably 9 months.
Yeah. I think like the biggest months for where most of the action happens will be October through February.
Okay.
Because you're going to have some of the stuff happening early and some of it happening late, right? Maybe February being late for some IPOs and ETFs, and maybe October being early for the most part. Obviously, there's going to be a few. There's already been the Circle IPO, like you mentioned. There's going to be some ETFs, probably basket ETF this summer on July 2nd if that gets approved.
Kraken.
Yeah, but that one's not going to be till early next year.
Yeah, I was just mentioning
I think Kraken will be one of the biggest ones, and when that happens, that could be close to the top of the market.
Right. So just like we had Coinbase Coinbase came in the summer, right? Yeah, the summer, right?
It came in April of 2021, so it was the first peak of the bull market at $63,000 Bitcoin.
So that's a really interesting kind of fact. Like, all right, but like it's a sort of thing where like you could get ETFs coming out first and more IPOs coming out later. So it could be sort of thing like first boon, second boon,
right?
Dunzo, basically. So music to my ears. So we are literally having what? Luna. We're gonna have
Luna IPO.
The Luna IPO. It's back. Do Kwon 2. But we are going to have Solana come out with their ETF. We are going to have an ETF for Litecoin, Polkadot, XRP, the standard, and
Solana.
Solana
might be the biggest one
because
I think that one's might get the staking approved, or at least pushed towards staking.
I think after the Ethereum staking one goes.
Well, that's the question, right? Because there's a lot of the Wall Street money is kind of jumping the gun and being like, well, some of the money might decide to skip Ethereum. I think Galaxy Digital, Mike Novogratz' company, they sold all their Ethereum and or not all of it. They sold
a large amount,
like $150 million or $200 million. I can't remember how much it was, but they sold a good chunk of what they had from Ethereum to Solana just like in the last maybe month and a half ago.
Well, there's more of a projection of the price going up in terms of news and stuff.
Exactly. And like they kind of view it as the same level of risk.
Well, I don't. Well,
they view it.
They view it. Yeah. Now, also, we're getting a little bit of things of possibly, Crow's kind of been added to the list. I think that's going to be a basket, but it could be giving its own.
I think that'll be a basket.
Yeah.
Sure.
Sui, we're trying to get a little bit of Sui stuff.
That'll be a basket as well. I think Sui Eric Balchunas from Bloomberg or whatever, the ETF analyst.
Yeah.
It said SUI would be like November, 60% chance of approval, and like forgot the one that he had that the highest chance of approval, but I mean, obviously the Solana one was one of the higher ones and earlier.
Yeah, it's younger and stuff like that. That's what I was. The one so far that surprised me the most absolutely was Crow.
Yeah.
Did not see that one coming. That was like, well, it's giving more like. I'm very bullish on Crow token just because of just that sort of ecosystem going up and maybe a little bit of retail here and there.
Did the exchange provide anything to the Trump campaign? That might
they must have possibly, but I don't know.
That could be part of the reason.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the whole thing too is like LibertyFi just decides magically to be on crypto.com. Then they also decide, fuck it, we'll have all our ETF filings and things sold in tokenized form. Hey, and we'll also have our stablecoin traded pretty heavy duty on
Right. So what deal was done, right?
Yeah. Who runs crypto.com? I need to see who.
I don't even know.
I don't know. But I will find out.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll have all the information for you guys very, very soon and stuff like that. But so the possibility is that we're having a huge amount of, like, it seems like we might go into a little bit of a IPO season.
Mm-hmm.
This is something that I was saving this a little bit for the course, but hey, I'll give you guys a little something, just a little something right there. But we're going into a bit of an IPO season and an ETF season, and it could be very possible we could actually get an IPO of every major exchange in the United States, the big four. So Coinbase already has it, Kraken, Gemini, Crypto.com.
Right.
Gemini would be interesting because obviously all their New York ties and stuff like that, and it's probably a good amount. The Winklevoss probably getting a bit of their money back. Because I mean, it's sort of like I almost see these exchanges that don't get like the popularity of like, I'd say like a Binance or a Coinbase. Kraken somewhere like it's like the B tier where like they're still making plenty of money and good investments.
Well, yeah, they were kind of kept on the outside because they're like they actually stuck to their political beliefs or the libertarian beliefs in terms of just like freedom of money for everybody and stuff. Whereas Coinbase is like, yeah, we're ready to make a deal. So they just I think held out longer from making deals with the government.
Yeah. So Josh Hamilton, right? What a great name. Can explain what is getting a basket. So it's a basket of currency. So imagine that for every $1 that I buy of this stock, or like let's just say this stock costs $1 and it's a basket of currencies. It could be SUI, Crow, Dot, Doge, as an example. I would get 25 cents each, or 24.5 cents in each one, basically. So effectively, depending, it's probably gonna be market cap weighted, I would imagine, but you could have this sort of thing where like someone's probably going to create large cap baskets, mid cap baskets, small cap baskets, and then you'd be able to basically buy a little piece of fractional, tokens of every single one of those coins, and that would translate over time into DCAs that would buy supply up for those coins. Hopefully, it works like that. I have a feeling later ETFs are going to be paper, possibly.
Yeah,
but that still might translate with the market's stupid. It just might move along with it,
Yeah,
but I'm here for the tech. That's right. You think Tether will ever get an IPO? That would surprise me on this point in time. I could see next cycle for sure. Next cycle for sure. But they are right now out of. Right now they're no longer in Europe. They're currently in El Salvador. Obviously, there are part of the hegemony of, like we've said this forever, that Tether is working with with the United States government a little bit. So USD Circle. I know there was a point in time where like, oh, Circle's its own thing. Yeah, right. Come on, no, let's stop it. USDC which is from Circle, is essentially a 1.0 of our version of basically our central bank digital currency. We've used it forever. We know how it works. That's basically how it's going to operate, except when we do have a central bank digital currency, I would imagine when Trump gets out of office, hopefully JD wins. That'd be kind of cool. Then maybe we could have like a really like we could have something like, we could have something closer to like, I don't know, 16 years. No, I'm sorry, 12 years of just no central bank digital currency in the United States. But
they need to turn that into law as soon as possible.
Yes.
I think like a guy like Tom Emmer could probably like grab that torch and kind of run with it and stuff like that. But they need to change that from just an executive order before he leaves to an actual law. Yeah,
especially right now while he controls, the Senate and the House of Representatives. He's doing a lot of work right now, but
it's in the best interest of everyone.
No, absolutely it is. But you look at some like players like Coinbase. Like I do like Coinbase quite a lot, but some of the bills and things and proposals they brought forth is a little tightening the noose, or just basically creating themselves a bit of a. I understand you want to pass stuff to help your company out, but like they've always marketed themselves as kind of like, we're the representatives of crypto. We are the guys that make you guys look not lame. you know, and you know, there's gonna be some fuck shit passed. Like this is something like crypto was supposed to solve everything. It's solved. Like no, crypto is basically going to be the next evolution of our financial system, and the world is not. So it's not going to be. It's not going to be like, oh, we're all going to be in poorness and squalor, or we're all going to be rich on the eating off the cheese of the moon, Charlie, because it's we're up there in the moon. But it's going to be somewhere in between, but it's overall progress in the right direction. You know, having I mean, if you actually look at it, right, like 90,
more fair.
It's more fair. Yeah, 90% of money is already digital.
Right.
Like there's so much. They do not have enough paper to print all the fucking dollars that actually exist in circulation.
Yep.
Right. But one thing that I would really like if I was president, right? Or if I could at least have the year of like, JD or Trump, I would try to have something. I don't know if you could add an amendment to the Constitution as like, or maybe add something like a financial Bill of Rights or like some sort of like save, like maybe having the ability to save money is like a God-given right, or like some sort of like right given or something like that. It's like it's a portion of freedom of speech in a way, because if you cannot save, you are a slave. Yeah. If you can't, that's what's so scary about a central bank digital currency is because they're like, hey, you guys, the economy of Las Vegas slowed down. None of you guys are gambling. So here's what we're gonna do. The last money you made in the last 4 months is gonna disappear Monday. Have fun
if you don't use it.
If you don't use it, have fun.
Yeah, Hunger Games.
But I just be on the table
Walmart,
like I just be on the table.
Walmart.
And then the fucked up shit is like what'll happen is they're gonna, like, I haven't talked about this. There's gonna be a special license. Charlie, have you heard about this?
Yeah.
So oh, you have?
I don't know.
The vendor special license.
No.
Okay, so when you spend money, it's like if you don't spend this money, it'll disappear. If I this is where it gets scary. Okay, this is the next level of the slavery part. Okay, so let's just say, like, Charlie, would you sell me the Stanos gauntlet you have here? Sure. Here's $1,000. Your money's going to disappear too. That $1,000's still going to disappear.
Right.
That's the problem.
Right.
That's the problem. So fuck, it's still worth it for you to grab my $1,000.
Chairs.
It's musical chairs. So here's the authorized vendors. This is where it gets scary. Is that the vendors, when they receive funds, their dollars don't disappear. This is how they make sure that the money has to flow into one of the fucking pots.
Right.
We can still have commerce between us, but it evaporates. So it's this whole thing where, like, I'll tell you this thing. Look, this gauntlet's only worth $800. I don't care, dude. Like, you want it's $1,200 because this fucking money's gonna disappear in 2 days, dude. And I gotta fucking spend this money too. You really want it, or not? I'll keep it. Fine. I wonder how they'll sign up. It'll just be a law, and people will just like they'll gingerly do it.
Yeah, it has to be. Usually, there's some sort of crisis. Right. So, I mean, how did they get away with money printing during the pandemic? Oh, yeah. Like, this is needed for everything. It's usually it's a war or a crisis of some sort.
Yeah. That's one of the best sounds ever. It really is.
Yeah. Sounds like The Undertaker coming out.
Now, that is the next level of it. Like, because it's the sort of thing where, like, then, like, you could have this where it gets really scary is that, you ever heard of something called the company store? Company stores?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so this is a big thing that happened here in the States. I'm pretty sure it happened in Europe, I imagine, but like it happened in the stateside where like they'd have mining towns, and because we don't have the transportation like we do today, it's all wagons. It's over here. We have cars, we have trains, there's planes. Somebody could you could be at a work site, drive 1 hour to get to a store, but back then that'd be like a 3-day trek on a horse.
Yeah,
to get to the store. So it was a sort of thing where you have company stores where the company store would pay people in company tokens.
Right.
Or they take the gold. Let's just say you're getting gold. You can keep the gold, or you can trade it in for company dollars. And I set the price exchange rate for the company dollars. And on top of that, I control the prices of the products that are sold in the store.
Right.
And guess what? You can't go anywhere else because where else are you going to go?
Yep.
So it's this whole thing where like, oh, damn, like right now, too many people, these guys are all saving too much of this company dollars. All right, jack up the price of Celsius by 4x. You want an energy drink? It's now 20 company dollars. This is $3.99. Well, no, today it's $20.
Yep.
That could happen where like, today is the last day to spend this money before it goes away forever at Walmart. Walmart's having our competitors increase the prices by 3x, but here at Walmart, we take care of our customers. We're going to increase the prices by only 50% from marked value. Wow. Dude, you save so much money by shopping at blah, 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 Buc-ee's.
Yeah.
And that's what they could do. That's us getting like, all right, step 1, step 2, Buc-ee's evil empire. Like it's a small thing of like allowing the Fed to do what they want.
Yeah.
Tyranny.
Yeah. Well, I mean, who was it? It was Andrew Jackson, that cheerful fellow. No. He was the last president that basically had gotten rid of the Fed, I think. Like he had no Federal Reserve. After him, we've always had a Federal Reserve, basically. And there were a lot of the founding fathers of America who were basically against having a Federal Reserve at all.
A lot of them were like, you want to know some fun fact? I didn't know that. So
because that is how it ends up.
That's how it ends up.
If you let it go that far.
I mean, the founding fathers, a lot of them were Freemasons. That's the whole thing about having like, the hidden hand.
Right.
That was the whole thing of it. Right. And
they weren't gooning.
They weren't fucking sure. God damn it. They weren't gooning. But there's this whole thing of like, this one mind fucked me. I couldn't believe I never put this together. So you heard of the Knights Templar, right?
Yeah.
There's like this, I think it's called Black Monday or Black Friday, where like basically the state essentially attacked them. Basically, they owed a bunch of money to the Knights Templar. They attacked them. They killed they basically captured and killed the head of basically the Knights Templar, burned the whole place down, the keep. They started this whole thing where they started attacking them. Well, the Templars had a massive, massive, massive navy. And this is where the skull and crossbones come from. The Templars, basically, all their pirates or all their ships had a skull and crossbones.
Right.
And that that was such a mindfuck. I never thought of that. I was like, yeah, he's like the pirates, but no, that's Freemasons.
And Coinbase hires the majority of their staff, or at least their higher ups, from Skull and Bones.
That's true.
That's true. I mean,
True.
I won't divulge my sources, but yeah, legit.
What part of Mexico are your people from? The cool part. Basically the mountains of Jalisco, all the mining towns and shit like that. But yeah, man, it is a crazy, crazy way. Like how like little, like, it's like these little 1,000 cuts, and eventually you can like, then it'd be like it's worth its weight in gold if you could have this license. And of course the government could tax you on all that shit, but then you have the ability to like increase. It's it's scary. That's how we got to that point where like it's just, it's like 15 or 30 mega corporations. Maybe it's like 3 mega corporations in every sector, from healthcare to everything, and then they all run the gamut on. And that's where we could get to that point. I mean, you could say South Korea is already kind of like that already, except there's still the freedom of choice to move around and stuff like that. But that's what's so scary about it, is they can get to that. And the thing is, we're going to see it happen because it's going to happen in other countries first. The United States is going to be slow to it.
Right.
And so we may get a better.
And usually the United States does it in a little bit more of a stealth way.
Yeah.
It's like in some countries, we're tyrants. We're just going to spy on everything you do on the internet, versus like China or whatever, right? Versus in the United States, we're going to let you pretend that you're doing everything on the internet, private and everything. But in reality, Facebook is given the back door. I think Google's one of the ones that like kind of keeps the government at bay a little bit, but it's like, for the most part, the government's just fucking like, there's some dude at the NSA, if you wanted to like watch, the camera through your phone at any point of the day, he could.
You're supposed to see my ball sack, I guess.
Exactly.
My gosh, they're large. How does he walk around like that?
They must have been in the water for ages.
I know. Wait, what? I caught on so late on that.
The brain.
But these ETFs and IPOs, I think we've still like, we had a 0 to 1 moment, which was Bitcoin got an ETF,
right?
And Ethereum got an ETF. I mean, that's, you want to like, no matter what that it was, we finally have a little tiny drain where the world's liquidity can flow into, because we had a very indirect sort of thing. Like the majority of, like, I would say Wall Street investors, besides their personal stuff, you mostly had junk bond traders that bought crypto. Like junk bond, the performance of junk bonds and crypto there was a large correlation in 21 with that and stuff. That was like a little tidbit we kind of found out kind of late in 21, but like when they were doing really well, they rolled profits into crypto. And if like something happened in the market, they would actually like, why is crypto going down today? It doesn't make sense. The stock market's up, but you could actually have had like a big dip in like bonds, and they were just cashing out crypto to cover their fucking ass over here. stuff, which is kind of crazy. But it's kind of a genius strategy too. Like, so I mean, what else do you expect? I mean, those are the degens of like the worry words in the bond market and stuff like that. So that's pretty cool. But there's a will, there's a market, you know.
Yeah, right. Isn't what they say with the OnlyFans girls?
Yes, exactly. Kyle, pull up the screen. Okay, so where is it? Okay, yeah, thank you. So yeah, we got Bitcoin right now at $107,000. We've got a $2,400 Ethereum. This should be $5,000 right now. Should be $5,100. We're 50% off.
Metallic had to let the L2s on.
Had to do it. Had to. Actually, I've got some interesting news on. Speaking of Vitalik, actually, Vitalik had a really he was kind of shitting on someone like Sam Altman recently, which is pretty much, it was like, dude, you like here. I don't want to make sure I got this correct. Reshare my screen. It's all Jerome Powell's fault, sort of. Yeah. You know, it is. I mean, well, like I always say, like, I'm not going to completely go out here and just shit on Jerome Powell, because I do believe he did a really great job up until kind of like I will say until January of this year.
Right.
Like I can kind of get like, I mean, it's just this whole thing where like the Federal Reserve is supposed to not take sides on the Democrats or Republicans or anything like that, but you know, so I could see like, all right, we'll do a little cut here and then we'll stop and then we'll let whoever wins, and then it should have been, all right, if it's Democrats, we'll cut. If it's the Republicans, all right, Trump won, we'll cut. That should have been the play. That makes sense, right? You're like, all right, we'll let Trump, you know, do his like victory dance, and then they could have started cutting in January, but they fucking did it, which is like that's the crazy part. Like that should have, like, here. Let me pull this up. You'll be dead by dawn. January 29th. That's where the cut should have been. They could have done 25s. They could have had 1, 2, 3, 4 by now. We could have been down 1, or done it even so if they want to go slower. January, May, July, October. Now they cut 1%. Right. At least they're cutting, and it's starting to bring a little ease. But they don't have to like succumb to like Trump saying like, this is why an ounce of prevention is more than a pound of cure. Right? It's just like, because he was cutting already. He couldn't, like, Trump would probably kept his mouth shut and like, all right, he's cutting at least in the right direction. It's slow, it's happening. Like, I wish the cut rate's a little faster, but he's cutting.
Right.
And then the Fed wouldn't be under like the Fed wouldn't have had to fire 10% of their staff. You know, a lot of like, there's a lot of and then he wouldn't have all this political pressure. Jerome probably could have kept his job a little longer. But the Fed is just historically, they're more of like a firefighter. They're by the time they get there, the house is half burned down already, and they're just trying to save it from that point. And it's like, wow, dude, I can't believe you saved the whole first floor. I mean, we lost the last 2, but like, hey, man, great job, dude. Most Fed presidents let the whole shit burn to the ground before they fucking start spraying water on the fucking floor. But and that's kind of how they're graded on a curve, essentially, right?
Right.
The only other one I would say would be what's that dude's name? I always forget his fucking name. He's from the 1970s. He's like during the whole thing where the US dollar wasn't correlated to, like, we hadn't yet done the deals to like link the petrodollar yet. The dollar lost tons of value because of the fucking French. The French started pulling all the gold. They basically started buying gold like crazy. Then all at once, they started essentially a panic in the market, and the French started pulling all their gold, and then started telling other people in other countries, hey, we're losing confidence in the United States. We're pulling all our gold right now. And then other countries started asking for their gold from the United States. And then the market started going like this. Oh, shit.
And they did that to the Germans.
Fucking French dogs.
What happened to there? What happened there?
Dude, those fucking French fucks. Do I have a French fuck? Do not trust the French, you guys. You may trust the French women, but you can even have French homies. But deep down, you know.
There's only like 1 in 10 that's good, and they're only like 60% good anyway.
Right. I mean, we were kind of joking around about this. I think I had a meme the other day of basically, what are we going to do? Like, you know, here's how we end racism in America. Okay. We enslave Canada. We give 1 Canadian slave to every African American in the United States. That's why it's slavery.
Why don't I get one?
Why don't I get one? I'm a quarter African. I'm Swahili. No.
I'm like Pocahontas.
Dude, wouldn't it be funny to see who's grifting to say they're black? And I remember the top.
Well, we all came out of Africa.
Allegedly. Here we go.
Allegedly, we were kings. We were kings.
You know, black's real in vogue right now.
Oh yeah.
I'm Canadian French. Dog, you are going to the fucking salt mines, dog. Alaska Jack, you go deeper into the fucking go to the Arctic Circle, save yourself. Oh my god, dude, it's so crazy because I was like, the top comment was about like I called dibs on Drake's mom. but let's just say that, like, obviously not, but like we're making a joke, but it was kind of a cool thought experiment to see, like, okay, let's see Alberta secedes, joins the United States. They probably would make Alberta and they'd force Puerto Rico to finally become a state, because usually when they add states, they add them two at a time, right? When was the last time we did it? It was Alaska and Hawaii.
Yeah,
when they added them together, they add them because Alaska is Republican and what's Hawaii? Democratic. Yeah, Democrat. As told to us by Rich Dad Poor Dad. Yeah, that was a big thing in all his books and shit. When he's talking about my poor dad and my rich dad, he's like, my poor dad, my father, good man, great man, hardworking, super smart, but big old lefty. And that was one big thing that he always shit on. Hawaii was just like, they're just so blue. Yeah. Why don't I get one? I mean, with this picture, sir, I think you're honorary. I think you should get one. But I'm Sicilian, so I probably have some African. Oh, now the Sicilians are like, that shit would be pretty funny. But 1 or 2% of black people are going to be coming out the woodworks. But it's just, but all jokes aside, but if that did happen, right, that destabilize, that would just, that would actually it would make our American crude market. Like, that's one thing I've been a proponent of. They say it exists, but not to the level I'm talking about, where it's like, we primarily only trade and buy oil from this market here. So we're like, they have to really, we are an independent oil market. This is the transatlantic America's oil, market, which would be anyway from the bottom of the South America all the way to the tippy top of Alaska, right, to Iceland. And I think Trump's not going to let it go. I think he will one day.
Greenland, yeah.
Not all of it. I want all of it. Might as well. We're already there. We're already there.
Miners in Iceland, yeah.
You say Bitcoin?
Bitcoin miners.
Suspicious.
I think that's the real reason why they bombed Iran, right?
Iran. What was that? You say Iran trend, and this Israel pump is real, is unreal. But good day, you guys. But it's the sort of thing where, like, if that would destabilize, and the thing is, why this is not even a joke. This is actually can really happen. They voted to do this, so Alberta could actually leave Canada's kind of union, and maybe they're just going to be their own kind of free state for a little bit. But they actually could be absorbed as like the 51st and 52nd state, basically.
Well, yeah, it'd be hard to like take them over because they got the Rockies. If another nation tried to attack them,
I understand.
They'd already be surrounded by Canada anyways in the United States. So it's like, no country's going to get in there and attack them except for Canada. Like, what if Canada was like, hey, we're going to send in all the Mounties,
Right.
They what do you call it? I don't know.
Alaska Jacks.
All the bullets are tipped in maple syrup, I heard. The true Canadian War.
This real sticky. I got shot by 5.56 and I got diabetes now. But Alaska Jacks, like, we already have an Air Force base in Greenland. Yeah, we have Air Force bases everywhere, so it wouldn't be that difficult. I do think the country, at least Iceland or Greenland, I forget, like, Iceland, I think there's only 40,000 people.
Yeah, Iceland's tiny.
Yeah, it's massive, but there's only the livable part. It's like
Greenland's huge.
Yeah, Greenland's huge.
Yeah, Greenland might be the one with less population, actually.
Iceland has Swede blondes. Greenland has Eskimos.
Correct.
Yeah,
they're probably more like, what do you call it? The leftovers from the Vikings versus the Icelandic people are like more refined.
Black Label Expert says, Charlie, what are you talking about? Boot. But I find Canadians' English less like hideous than I do like Spanish dudes from Spain.
Oh yeah, you mentioned
it's
that
pretty
before.
bad. I'll do an English version of it right now. Charlie, when are we going over here? Like, they essentially add lists.
Is it like an old British?
It's because King Louis, I think the Fifth or some shit like that, had a lisp. And they brought it on.
The Spanish King.
Spanish King.
Yeah, he had a list from all the inbreeding they were doing. They were so
habla como así, el corazón. They have that
I see.
into the
language. And always, and it's, we can do it as a joke. Like I can talk in Spanish like that really easily,
like
because we've heard how it sounds already.
Right.
Where in English, I'm really trying to figure out where to put the
right.
Like Mexican Spanish would be nosotros, while Spain Spanish would be vosotros. It's like slightly different.
Yeah, it's like UK English,
right?
American,
right?
Like we just improved upon it, right? Though I do like posh. Posh does sound pretty cool occasionally, and then I like Australian English sounds pretty cool too as well.
Yeah, it just depends on like the person within the UK or Australia. It's like how low are they on the totem pole? Because once you get to the really low levels,
like a Cockney, like
it gets all fucked up. You know.
Yeah.
No cobro.
Quack. So right now I've got a brand new one of those loading up, but like it's not done yet. But I'll have it on the show next time. But it's time to get that new CA. Yeah. But we're gonna right now, think about all the bad stuff that happened. World War III almost happened. Then World War III happened again, and then it almost happened again. And we're still above $100,000. I mean, it felt like nothing happened in April, but we just went to 74,000.
Well, except for what do you call it? The tariff scare on April 8th.
Right.
So like going into the week of April 8th, right? The tariff scare is like, oh my God, tariffs are going to ruin the economy. We all got that huge dip.
Yep.
That's really where the 74,000 came into play. And then everybody was like, oh yeah, it wasn't really that big of a deal. And because he extended the window 90 days. So like Trump, the interesting thing is he kind of cries wolf on each of these things.
Mm-hmm.
But because each one is like a different scenario, like this one is tariffs, this one's war, this one's something else. Yeah. People, they catch on to the pattern that but they don't know exactly how he's going to switch it up the next time. Right. So like it has a temporary negative effect to the market whenever he does change something. But then people are like, oh yeah, it's not that bad. And then afterwards they buy the market back up, stabilizes, at some point something positive happens there, and then boom, market goes back up again. So most of those things that have happened are actually good dip buying opportunities.
No, definitely. Yeah. Because I mean, nothing.
We tell people that, but they always still shit in their pants when it happens.
Yeah.
Happening.
How many people bought $74,000 Bitcoin?
Yeah.
We did. Well, I bought other cryptos, but still but we did. We bought that dip, that was a really nice dip. And
got a Q1 crypto mindset course.
Yeah. But it is the sort of thing too, where like some stuff didn't dip, like Sui didn't dip that low on that dip. I mean, no, compared to the dip we just recently had.
The interesting thing is like, where is a coin in its pattern? And so Sui had actually gone very high in its pattern, right? And so it was in the early stages of its pullback. So it made a significant dip on it, but then it bounced and then it dipped lower the next time around. Simply because it hadn't finished that corrective phase for it. So it really, each coin kind of enters those periods in different phases. And if, let's say, for example, a coin had already been consolidating for a long time, that could lead into its final dip before like launching off again. So each coin kind of comes into a different pattern. But the cool thing about like when we do the Friday, what do you call it? Shitcoin Fridays.
The AMA,
the AMA with looking at the charts, is when you look at about like, when we do this too, when we look at the top 50 coins list for the course and everything, once you look at about like 20 to 60 or 80 different coins on the market, you start seeing there's like 5 or 6 different chart patterns that the majority of them follow. And then you kind of see which ones are more or less correlated with Bitcoin versus Ethereum versus Solana. And then you can kind of get a little bit of an idea of like, okay, this group of coins is going to do well first, and then this group follow that and stuff like that. So we mentioned that in the course. We'll mention that in the thesis webinar. But yeah, I think Sui is pretty close to the end of its corrective phase. So just all that's required now for that, and for probably the majority of coins, is for Bitcoin to start breaking up above like 115,000.
Right.
Then Ethereum starts breaking above 2,900, and then everything starts moving real good again.
Yeah, exactly. And then, I mean, just think about the things we've gone through this year alone. Let's just say outside of just the election happening, which is they try to kill Trump. They literally failed assassination attempt. And then I shouldn't even say allegedly or possibly, never mind. The kid also looks like Elizabeth Warren's grandson.
Right.
It's creepy. Like they put the comparisons face to face.
I did see that. Yeah.
I'm like, wow. But let's just say past that. Okay, so as Trump
must be the psycho in them.
But as an example, right? Like what happened? All right, so one of the big things was like he started tackling the Ukraine, Russia war, World War III. Oh my God! Okay, nothing happened, but still terrible because it's this whole sort of thing. Okay, then what happened there? The Pooh River War between India, and Pakistan. Then that happened. And then we got Iran, Israel. The next rigmarole, I would imagine, would have to be Taiwan, China, or at least tension. That's gonna be one that's a little like the world. I mean, the United States is going to step in 100% if that happens, right? Because this is one of the reasons. Was strategically why, like, even during he started a little bit in the the 16 cycle when he was still president, but like he really pushed it, especially on the campaign trail and during his first 100 days, was trying to get as many fucking factories out of China, as well as getting a ton of chip manufacturing set up here in the stateside, here locally, and or here stateside, I should say, and then also you had a lot of that happening also in the UK and in Europe as well. So you're having the thing where a lot of countries are like, "Hey, you're doing this for the stateside. We'll pay you to build a fucking factory here. You want to?" Because it's like, why are we having all our chips shipped from like this island right next to a fucking possible attacker?
Yeah. Well, and it's funny, if China's left to its own devices, they'll take over all of Asia if they could. I think back in the day they got as far as like taking over Vietnam and those areas, right? So like they'd gone pretty far, like as one of the dynasties back, right? But like, yeah, China's like, it's like this never-ending eating machine, politically on these other countries if left to their own devices. So like, I mean that's more than Russia. Russia, like it can expand in maybe to Eastern Europe a bit, but then it gets a lot of pushback,
right?
But like China, like throughout its last few thousand years of history, it's kind of just like expanded, retracted, expanded, retracted. So
or broke up into 3 empires,
broken up into different provinces.
Exactly. Yeah. So like, what do you call it? For the United States, it's really imperative that they like keep them in check, because if they start letting them like absorb this country, well, now that we got that one just fine, right? Okay, now we're gonna try this one and that one and this.
I'm a man that has many plans, Charlie. Here's what I deal with the China problem. Okay,
China.
I start, we go back to history. Let's just say let's just not even go recent history. Let's go back a couple of thousand years. Okay,
Magellan.
Magellan. No, well, actually, a little past that. Actually,
okay.
I just start arming the Mongols.
Oh, there we go.
I just empower one of the Khans to take over the tribes. We just slowly have like, imagine the news right there. Major upheaval has happened in Mongolia. All tribes of Mongolia have finally united under one Khan. That's all you see is like there's a new Khan, like of and then I'm an arms trader. I'm an arms sealer. So let's just say I just armed the new horde a little bit, and then northern China starts suffering a little bit, and then
well, you know what would really get the Chinese?
Okay, go for it.
And this would be impossible for the United States to do, but is if you started basically an uprising in the Middle East because of the atrocities that are happening to the Uyghurs.
What you mean, like what's happening right now?
Yeah,
no,
you know what I mean, though.
But yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
So it's like get them sympathetic with the Muslim Chinese, basically the Uyghurs, that are all in like enslaved camps. But here's the thing: is the Muslims like they don't give a fuck. But like if they did, right? Then if you actually got the Muslims against China, that's where it'd get interesting because they do share a border. Russians probably are not. That border between Russia and China, they've just been like, yeah, we're cool with that for a long time.
Yeah, and they using Mongolia as a buffer,
right?
Yeah,
but the Middle Easterns are crazy enough that if they had a reason to come in and
a lot of inbreeding.
But the one problem with what's that? Western China is that it's like desert and there's
Gobi Desert,
nothing there. So like there's no. That's why they have never really like expanded into that area of China.
Right. Now we're getting a real taste of why DCC and CC are in crypto for real. These fucking crazy ass ideas. Yeah, but and then so look, there's a meme I have here. I'll let you guess the country of origin. We can, there's an oldie but a goldie, right? We just allow Japan to start arming
expanding.
Expanding. We give them we do a little Russo-Mexican little oil trades.
Just reignite the samurai spirit.
Yeah, it's a little bit.
Bushido code.
Well, yeah, a little Bushido code. Yeah. We just let them get a military.
Let's just bring back anime war propaganda.
Yes.
And I think that'll be enough.
This is not even joking around. They actually can make Gundams. They've actually made like, this is not completely far off,
dude,
though.
how crazy would that be?
You see like this giant thing going boom.
It's like a Godzilla Gundam going into fucking Beijing.
Oh my god. Godzilla.
I would feel so like split about, like, oh my god, all these people dying, but dude, this is sick. And you know, the first little Gundam slash or I don't know if they're gonna call them kaiju, but like their own little kaiju machines are gonna be like half tank, half human top.
Yeah.
And then eventually you're gonna have actual like.
Well, kaiju just means monster.
Yeah, the kaiju. But no, I'm talking about the Jaegers.
Yeah, I always thought it was the mech warriors. What are those ones? I forgot what they were like.
Gundams.
No. I think it was like called Mech Warrior or something like that. But it wasn't a Gundam or whatever. It was like an American version.
Oh, okay. Mech Warrior.
But like I was like that looked like
Transformers.
No. Like Transformers is more like Gundam. This was more like it looked like more military.
Oh, G.I. Joes.
I know mech something.
Okay, so
yeah, but it was like late 90s or whatever. But like
Warhammer 4040, they're gone.
Those ones probably look closest to what an actual like what do you call it? It was like
Exo Squad.
It was like what do you call it? You're like kind of lifted up like an at, but then you have like from Star Wars.
Yeah,
and then you have like the area that you're in, and then you have like these missiles on the sides.
Things. And shit. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
those ones look more like likely to happen.
I mean, imagine you have southern China be invaded by fucking essentially
Mech Warrior. Yeah, exactly. I think Sami was like
Mech Warrior.
I'm talking about this. There's the cartoon Exo Squad.
Those?
I mean, it looks similar to that.
Like
it's
like
a little bit more badass than that. Type in Mech Warrior.
Okay.
Oh my god, that's funny as fuck, dude.
Not Oni-chan, but. Yeah, something like that, like on the far right. Yeah, I think those look more realistic, right, to what you could actually build back in. Well, yeah.
It'll probably start like that. I mean, I'm telling you, it's gonna be it's probably gonna be like probably like
it'll be version 1.0.
Yeah. Logan Australia really is improvement. Yeah, but imagine if you had a bunch of giant sentinels attacking southern China.
Dude, the Sentinels and X-Men were badass.
Yeah, dude.
Like we could make those.
But the Japanese version of them, like. Or that'd be so funny too. They just instead of it's like Power Ranger mech as well. They have the dragon sword attacking fucking Szechuan right now.
My favorite part is that they took so long transforming into the
Megazord
that the bad guys just left.
But okay, we went way off. We're on course, but way off course. But yes, Taiwan, China. Yeah, Taiwan, China. Yeah. And so, I mean, it wouldn't be that hard, really. Like, what'll happen is it's sort of like the one. Actually, there's also one hidden one. It's not hidden, but it's just because it's been around such long. You don't think about it. North, South Korea, of course.
Oh yeah,
they're still in war.
If that ever got kicked off, oh boy, that would be nasty.
Yeah, Big O was a great show. Big O was such a good show. Have you ever saw that one?
No.
It's like a mechanized show, kind of happened on Cartoon Network. It was a little more realistic with some of the mechanics of like having to really like move things. It was kind of like it was very like. Physical in order to move the actual mechanics to actually move the robots and shit. But so what would happen like with the one difference I would say between like North and South Korea is that North Korea has enough weapons on the initial attack that basically Seoul's gone, but from there they're fucked.
Yeah.
Well, that's the one that
it kind of ends up like the Korean War, which was you destroyed our whole country. We destroyed your whole country.
We don't have a country.
We destroyed yours again and again. And it's just like it goes back and forth until like both sides are just fucked.
Mutual destruction.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Big O, Vatamos. I haven't known that one.
But yeah, what's his name? Kim is probably crazy enough to get that ball rolling.
Can you imagine it? Because the scary part, like I'm more scared of the fucking crazy sister getting control.
Oh,
have you seen that bitch?
Yeah. No, she seems like what do you call it? I forgot.
Psycho girlfriend that'll kill you.
Yeah, exactly. But like, what do you call it? Like, how like in Europe you have like these dynasties of kings, and then like the last king or last emperor is always like the fucking craziest. It's kind of like that. Like, she'd be like the grand finale.
Because they've said like anytime there's a female ruler, they're much more vicious.
Well, they have to be.
They have to be because they're seen as weak.
Yeah. Senile.
She's in the shadows too. Yeah. So like, India's teaming up with Israel and China is teaming up with Pakistan. I see that possibility getting bad. Yeah. It's this whole fuck shit, man. Wow. That's a lot. She got them crazy eyes and smirks. Her face is very gaunt and she just looks like she tortures people.
Yeah.
Like,
well, we know her.
Yeah, pull it up, Kyle, when you have a chance. But she looks so evil.
Yeah, we know what her older brother. What's his name again?
Wait, the older.
The current
Kim
Kim
Jong
Jong-un.
Un.
Yeah. We know that he killed his half brother.
This one, right?
Yeah,
Oh
that
my
lady. Yeah,
God!
for
Put it on
sure.
the screen, Kyle. Put it.
She's crazy looking,
dude.
But
that dome.
But for her to be more crazy than her brother, and her brother killed their half brother with poison in the what airport? I think that was like in Vietnam or something like that, or whatever. So like, just imagine what she'd be willing to do.
Dog. That side part is like she's already balding already. How evil she is. Like that is fucking scary.
Well, and they're the richest people, and she's malnourished.
Look, go back to the top right now, down to the right. Yeah, those. Click that picture. You know, she has her squad of hitters.
It's kind of like the movie or the TV show.
She's
Penguin.
fucking two of these guys.
Yeah,
I put it on any. Oh, you think she got a Chad? She got no. Okay, let's stop it.
But have you ever seen the HBO show?
Look how she's happy.
Have you seen the Penguin?
The current one.
Colin Farrell?
Yeah.
Yeah, she looks like that lady who kills her entire family. Like, what do you call it? She's like the rich family, and they send her over to the mental asylum or whatever, and she gets out and she just kills them all.
Yeah.
I was like, she's like that type of lady.
So that's the scary part, because Kim Jong Un, I think, because like he's a little more westernized, but still he's like, and he's also still meeting with Trump.
Yeah, they all
and
went to school in Switzerland.
Yeah, they all went. Yep. So, you know that's crazy? He's like, dude, I'm hella homies with him. What happened to him?
Yeah, he fucking invited Dennis Rodman over,
and he's like, okay.
Yeah.
And he had a great time too. He's like, oh, they treated me well over there.
Like, he's misunderstood.
Yeah.
Just like me.
But okay, let's just say you were the country, right? Let's just say I was Kim Jong Un. Okay, all right. Look, I want to have talks. Trump, I need Trump. Let's just say you got Trump to do it, and then we got the president of Korea in it, right? Boom, boom. Okay. I want to reunify with South Korea.
Yeah, but then he'd have to give up all his power.
Yeah, and then but here's the thing: it's like, oh, look, I've seen what's happening. We've obviously lost the war and stuff like that, but my family's done atrocities and stuff like this. It's like there'd be some sort of thing where
Don't kill my bloodline.
just basically like diplomatic immunity, and you give me you just let me still have some little vassal power, and just let's start course correcting this thing, and then I know I'm gonna be looked at as a monster forever, but like I don't know, he'd be saying like if any country ever did that to themselves, they'd also see what kind of shit they're doing underneath. Obviously he's doing really bad stuff, but
knowing them, I think they'd rather go out like those people that just like call the cops just so they come and kill them.
Yeah.
Like they'll be like have a suicide wish.
By a cop.
Yeah, they'll go like rob a bank or something.
Yeah,
to get like shot up. Like North Korean government, like they're like that kind of person. Like they're just fucking ape shit crazy, and they're just like, I ain't going out unless you're taking me out. That's that kind of guy.
Alan here, bodyguard, looks like a beautiful Squidward. But look, I mean, for sure. I mean, if you're that powerful of a lady, I mean, you're gonna like, fuck it. I'll have my goons, but then you're gonna have your boy toys as well and shit like that. And
like Caroline Ellison and the FTX.
Have you seen that?
But at least she's fucking actually like okay, good looking guys at least. But like Karen Ellison was just fucking like, wow, dog. She wasn't a looker either. That's
There's levels to this game.
Hit the like button, subscribe. Nowhere else would you get this. But practical investing. Haven't seen you in a while, dog. Are you still cool with Fresh and Fit? Yeah, we've done multiple.
We were just on their show
like
last week,
and we did like 305 podcasts twice. We're on Fresh and Fit twice. We did a Castle Club premium call.
Yep.
A lot of content with Fresh and Fit.
The 305 podcast with Fresh.
Yeah, we actually had Fresh and Myron here. I think Fresh only.
Fresh and Greg Adams.
Greg Adams is here as well and stuff. They so we have them come to Las Vegas all the time. We go to Miami all the time. Yeah, it's pretty cool, man. Las Vegas is one of the red pill hubs, and as well as Miami.
Yep.
So, yeah, we're still really cool with them. So, but yeah, that's just kind of like what's happening. So, but look at this geopolitical. At no point does it have to do anything with crypto, and that's sort of the point I'm trying to make with this whole thing about like we have gotten, and I said this on Roller Stream. There's no bad crypto news. Sure, we can be mad a little bit with the stablecoin bill. Okay, that's a little like
right. There's stuff that's not like totally crypto. It's like, what do you call it? TradFied up.
Yeah, TradFied up.
But like that's not negative towards the price of crypto because most people aren't even in crypto yet. So most people when they see that they're like, oh yeah, it's just finance.
Yeah, it's just finance. Yeah. And so what's the larger story if we look back at a real like macro look or we just take a real bird's eye view, right? Crypto's being injected and introduced, and it's basically like we're hitching ourselves now to the overall market in order to absorb liquidity.
And the way that they view it is what Kevin O'Leary said last cycle, which is crypto or Bitcoin will become the 12th sector of the S&P. That's how they want to view crypto. They're like, okay, how can we absorb this? How can we make it legal enough so that it's like an extra add-on bonus to what we can do? But then there's going to be that little part of crypto that the cypherpunk part of crypto is going to be like, oh, you think you control me now, hey?
Would you count the cypherpunk stuff as like the soul of crypto, or more the religion of it, or a little bit in terms of like
the crypto natives? I mean, me and you, right?
Yeah.
Would you rather?
But there's levels to like how crazy we get on that cyberpunk side.
And that's where we go over to the bankless and the trilemma. But
shoot me now, Charlie.
But it's true. It's true. You do have to give up one thing for another, right? When you're making a crypto, like Bitcoin, right? It gave up, speed for decentralization as an example.
But it's
right?
not even that slow. But 10 minutes is so slow. But
and then also high fees compared to everything else. But it doesn't matter. It's like, okay, it's gotten so far in the adoption curve that it's going towards more of a real stable money rather than something that we really need to build upon versus Ethereum.
Better gold.
Right.
A better gold. Yeah.
Right. But then that's only one part of its phase, right? It eventually, once it stabilizes beyond that, right? It let's say 100 years from now or whatever, it can become an actual currency money, and stuff like that over time. But it's the Mustap Murad Lindy effect.
Yeah.
Right? If I think everybody, if you just Google Mustap Murad Bitcoin Lindy effect, there's this chart from 2018 that just shows kind of the growth of crypto over time, and every crypto kind of just goes as far along that process until it kind of finds its niche that it's like going to stay at for a while. But then if it does keep leveling up, it will continue along that path eventually.
Because there's like this whole thing where it's like fad, then it's like Beanie Babies sort of hype,
like digital collectible,
and then it goes into like maybe something like very rare sports cards or something like that. And then it just
it gets attacked. It has to get attacked in the middle section where it's trying to go from like a collectible to like, what do you call it? Some scarce form of token money.
Yeah.
Right. And so like, what do you call it? Whenever it gets attacked, if it survives, right, then it keeps going. But that's why Richard Hart likes to build on Ethereum.
Yeah.
Is because then he already has something that's been attacked. So it's not like the code is good. And then all you have to do is improvements upon it. Right. Which is easy. That's why he did that with Hex, is because then if you start a whole layer one blockchain that's based on, and that's why CZ did it with BNB, same thing,
right?
Is because it's like, oh, Ethereum already proved itself. It went through the hard phase. We'll just borrow that, and then we'll add our own little twist to it, Yep.
I totally get it. Is that the one right there, Charlie?
Yeah, exactly. That one right there. Yeah, press that one there and throw that up. It's one of the most useful charts I would say.
Can you put on the screen thing?
Yeah, it's one of the most useful charts I would say that I've seen in crypto the whole time I've been in crypto, because a lot of people fucking forget this shit. Right? It goes from, digital scarcity, immutable, right? Irreversible. That's after Ethereum did its rollback. Digital collectible. And then, eventually speculation, right? And that's where most meme coins stop. They don't go to greater security, protocol robustness, social attacks, right? They usually get, most meme coins and everything get fucked when it comes to social and technical attacks. They just die and people move on. But then if you want to continue up that, like Bitcoin, I think, right now, obviously reliable store of value, and then it's going to grow its network value by having basically Wall Street come in, even greater liquidity, price stability, that type of thing.
Standing up
just to see it better.
Yeah, just to see it better. So it sort of seems like we're just basically in the we're just like all the rest of it's just mostly trust at this point. It just seems like it's
trust and usage and stability.
Because greater perceived safety. I mean, I feel like it's already there, but I get it. But that's more perceived
by the masses.
By the masses, right?
Yeah,
it's still made fun of.
We're still in early adoption phase, not early mass adoption phase yet. We haven't got to the mass adoption part yet.
The interesting one is right there. Go down right there. Lower disincentives to spend.
Yeah, basically it becomes more stable over time.
Right.
And then it can eventually, if it gets to a widespread medium of exchange, okay, it's stable enough over the day-to-day, week-to-week, month-to-month that we don't really have to worry about it. Eventually, if it goes to be a full global money, it just is like the US dollar, right? It's just a unit is a unit.
Right.
But I mean, the Simpsons, right? They had on the ticker symbol on one of the shows or whatever, they had all these different stocks or whatever.
Yeah.
And then they had Bitcoin with the infinity symbol next to it.
Nice.
Which is like that, right? Like eventually maybe it replaces the dollar. just because the dollar's so worth less over time and people lose faith in the government. Now, wouldn't that be a fucking kicker over the course of like a century? Yeah, we adopted Bitcoin basically to protect the current financial system, but all it really did was slow down the decline enough for them to like have an extra like one generation of power, and then it just goes away. Like,
or just squirrel it away. Yeah. And it's not. Yeah, it's true. Like, I mean, right now, someone from the now, as long as Bitcoin doesn't fail, right? That is the caveat. Like, if
if Bitcoin threatens enough at a stage, right, then all of a sudden, you get them going and trying to attack it in different angles and stuff like that.
Josh Hamilton, I told my homeboy, I told my homeboy to get into crypto, and he was like, I don't know, bro. What if I lose money? That's why no one will remember your name.
Exactly. I was going to say something along those lines too. Yeah, that's exactly
right. But hey, Josh, you're over here trying to save people, but some people don't want to be saved. We have Tails Dream right here with the interesting question. Charlie Miguel, how did you first get on Fresh and Fit? I never asked or even met them, basically. So, yeah.
How do we first get on there?
Yeah, I guess it's like they want a little like, hey, how did we even get linked up with Fresh and Fit?
Right.
Like,
So
obviously, we're in the red pill, but like,
I mean, I won't go into all the details, but way back. I think this was in. I gave Myron his first consultation around December of 2019. So it was probably, because I started my channel March of 2019, so it was probably summer of 2019. Myron was actually in a lot of red pill webinars and stuff like that. He was more of a fitness guy at that time. And he was I was giving people consultations on crypto. He's giving people consultations on fitness. And like, there's just different people kind of in different niches in the space. Rolo was the OG, that everybody was, following and stuff like that. And then he ended up spinning off and being like, okay, I'm going to, do YouTube channel stuff. And then it was like, maybe like 3 or 4 months of him into his YouTube channel. He was like 20,000 subs or something like that.
Yeah.
We had the consultation about Bitcoin. I told him to buy it under $7,500. He did. We had the Corona crash. He bought more, right? He didn't get scared out by that crash. Because like he's been almost up he's been up 99% of the time he's held Bitcoin and Ethereum and other stuff as well. But like with those two in particular, it was really only the Corona crash. It was about maybe 2 months or 3 months max that they were down, that he was down on that. But at the time I tried to explain to him on-chain data, kind of why things are the way they are and why these prices are really good. He was just like, bro, a little bit too much for me. Just tell me what to do. I was like, okay, buy into these prices and hold, right? And he's a buy and hold guy. He's a value investor. He's not really like a super big trader. So he's, by holding over that long term, he maybe could have made more, but he's made good money, with the stuff that he's put in. So that's pretty much how we first started the relationship. Then when we started the crypto mindset course, fast forward about a year later, the channel at that time was probably about like maybe 50,000 subs on, or maybe less even. Maybe I think the first webinar we did with their guys might have like off of YouTube, because it was in one of their like Zoom webinars, might have been like 30,000 subs or something like that. But within 6 months after that, they were at 500,000.
Yeah,
like it was like a rocket ship for that 6 months on Fresh and Fit. That's when they got.
We did it because in early 21 we did a men's conference from Donovan Sharp in Miami, and I remember specifically there were like 300K at the time, and we had done a couple streams with them. Like we did like an Avenger stream, and from there, like you're right, it went like within we blinked at 500,000. We blinked again, there were 1 million.
Yeah,
we're like whoa.
Yeah, they were on fire. And YouTube was the only thing that could stop them.
Yeah.
But like, no, it's like, it's the same thing with me and Miguel, right? Like we meet all sorts of different people in the social media space. Yeah, we're still like 35,000 subs, whatever. But once we hit that afterburner phase, which we will in the next 4 to 5 years,
right?
Once we get to that phase, like you remember the people that you worked with in the early stages, and especially which ones were the most trustable for different subjects, because how many fucking grifters have gone over and tried to get Fresh and Fit's ear, and like they've tried
every day.
They've tried to pay them off
every day.
Like all these different things, and I can see how that can be tiring at times. But if we hadn't taught them up on crypto up to that point, they wouldn't know, right? They would get like fucking some crazy asses on there at some point trying to promote something that wasn't good for their audience, and then they would lose a lot of reputation.
We helped, and one thing we helped Fresh and Fit a lot with is handling that, and obviously. They don't tell us, we don't know, of course, right? But they usually do consult us. Hey, we got this crypto company, we got this NFT thing. This is back in 21, and we helped them steer clear of all that stuff. And
yeah,
it ended up being really correct.
The guy that Fresh ended up talking to, that got him a little bit in deep with the Bitcoin conference, and some of those players or whatever. Excuse me. He was like, what do you call it? He talked to me and Miguel, and he was like, what do you think about this company or this type of project? We're like, oh yeah, they'd probably be good to network with, right? And so it's like definitely expands the place, but like sometimes they come around and be like, what do you think about these people? Bro, like look at their stuff that they've been promoting. Like they're probably gonna screw somebody over at some point, right?
Yeah, that's why we're so proud of the crypto mindset, because we in a way teach kind of the history of it, the lingo. That's the big thing is kind of we do have a little bit of a spreadsheet there with all the different type of crypto words and sort of like vernacular, like what's HODL, the classic, what's HODL, what's this, what's a DEX, but then you start learning some of the slang words a little bit and kind of how we talk. And then as soon as you learn how crypto people talk, you start noticing someone like, hey there, youngsters, like, hey, like, oh, okay, this guy is a little off.
Yeah,
he's not hip to it and shit like that. He's like, hey, would you guys like to get into some very, high probability, low cap meme coins, or like, or they start, or like one big thing is like we've always dissuaded people from getting into like proof of work coins for the most part, unless it's a trade, because it's kind of past already.
Yeah, except for Bitcoin, they haven't really panned out.
Yeah, I mean, there's one that like Raven Coin for a while had a big shot, but they had a big hack.
Yeah, they had a good idea, but like, not the right leadership.
Yeah, and then the hack didn't help.
Yeah,
that's the problem too. There was some hype for that. There was.
That's the thing is, crypto's like that Lindy effect thing, right? Yeah. They always get attacked at some point. Can they make it through it?
Right.
That's the most important thing. I mean, it's actually a good thing that Stewie had the Cetus protocol get hacked.
Yeah,
it wasn't the main protocol. It was something on there, but it's like kind of a little bit of the trial by fire period. It's like it needed that to kind of get to that next level.
Yeah, I mean, 2007 man, gaming. This channel will reach 500K easily after the crypto bull run. They'll join in and see how many millionaires you made this bull run,
baby.
I think we will hit those kind of levels. I mean, I really do think next cycle is where like we really start hitting the stride.
2029 could be just absolute insanity.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll see how it plays out. And between now and then, we're gonna be working hard. So.
Give me the lottery numbers.
That's Gary's field.
Yeah. 998 is the first one. And the second one, you guys, is 498. That is for the Crypto Mindset Q3 and the Cash Out course, which you also get at cultivatecrypto.com as a bundle deal.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, so pretty great, man. But yeah, man, we're it's all jokes aside, I get addicted to YouTubing this much. I really do. And then it's kind of I need a couple days to kind of like, damn, dog, I don't have to go to the studio. I don't have to like.
Yeah, well, it's kind of like it's like, what do you call it? We're usually used to doing a lot of content and a lot of discussion and stuff like that. But you kind of get like, it's like doing a marathon. You kind of get in the flow of it.
Yeah.
Enough. You're just like, I can keep going, but it's good for us to get a little rest, prepare for the course, get you guys ready for the first webinar on July 5th, which is next Saturday. At 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific. So that'll be in 7 days and 30 minutes. 7 days and 36 minutes to be exact. But I'm not. Who's counting?
But we specifically picked July 5th. One, because people were asking for extensions. A lot of people were asking, hey, I get paid like closer there. So like, all right, fine. But one of the big things was why is because 4th of July, people are going to drink, have fun, spend time with family. Then you can pull it up, Kyle, if you don't mind. So thank you. So basically, we're starting on July 5th. The reason we have the morning one off is so, we figured people are going to drink a little bit or go out that day.
Yeah, just maybe. It's good to celebrate the independence while we still got it. Press the eagle. There we go.
Oh my god.
Hey, because that's the thing with the United States, right? every year you do. It's like, what do you call it? I mean, look at what's happening in fucking California with Gavin Newsom, right? Like, if you don't continue defending the Republic, maybe you get, the Texit coin trying to exit Texas,
Exit.
Texas out of the what do you call it? The union. You know, you just got to protect against these the treasonous traitors.
Wow.
That's the true thing of force supply right there. You know,
but Tails Dream just answered the second little part of your question, man. You guys came up together in a crazy way. Yeah, we really did. Crypto blew up just as big as the Red Pill did, as Fresh and Fit did. We like in tandem. We both went up like that. Same thing with a lot of our guys in like Red Pill adjacent sort of things. Like we had guys like the Tates who are Red Pill adjacent. We had
the Tates were in the second ever crypto mindset course.
Yeah.
What do you? I mean, I wouldn't say it exactly, but there was a transaction plus some networking within the small group of people. I think there was like 300 and some people in that one. We heard too many things through the grapevine there that were like, oh, interesting. Like it was probably like, what do you call it? Tristan that was in there, but
no, Luke, right? Was it Luke? Or Tristan?
No, Tristan was the one that we had the information on. Yeah. But it was just like, interesting. But yeah. Early days, and because he wasn't that famous at the time.
Yeah, I mean they were doing Take Confidentials. He was known, definitely known, but he
wasn't world famous yet.
No, but they were doing the Take Confidentials, and it's like really the Take Confidentials. The series is one of the most entertaining shows I've ever. I remember when I first showed it to Charlie, or I first showed it to everybody. I was like, this shit. I watch this every day. This shit's so fucking funny. Like one of my favorite episodes is where they're on the train and Luke's sleeping on the fucking floor because he doesn't know how to turn it on, and then Jake comes in the door. He's like, "You fucking dumbass!" He opens his bed, so he had spent multiple days on the floor, like just suffering because like, oh, this sucks. And then the last day before they leave, hey Luke, you idiot! He opens up the little latch and the bed comes down. Oh my god! Or there's a really great episode of Take Confidential where it's the first time Waller meets the Tates. He's there. Yeah, it happens right here in Vegas.
Yeah,
right here in Vegas. It was so interesting, dude. And it's so crazy seeing like not a younger, but I guess a little younger technically. Seeing like Justin kind of coming up and stuff and everything. Because at the time, like when we first met Justin, he just was starting his YouTube channel. So same thing too. Is like, how'd you guys work with Waller and stuff? Well, we gave whatever tips we could, but like. We met up with him and stuff. He's always a great guy. We interviewed him. He had us on our channel and vice versa. And we always invited him everywhere. He'd invite us and stuff. Yeah. So it's just such a cool relationship.
He's a really good guy.
He's an incredible guy. Yeah. And I just wish he would come back to streaming a little bit more. But like,
same with Sterling. I mean, like Sterling's got his thing on lock right now. So I can't blame him. But like Sterling on stream is always fun. But he's a great guy as well.
Yeah, and we are going to be doing a stream pretty soon with what's his name. Troy Francis as well. He's he finally got back to me. He's been really sick.
Yeah.
I was actually not even lying. I was going to tell Rolla today, hey, Troy fell off the face of the earth. Like literally, like it was like 3 or 4 weeks, no YouTube videos, no Instagram posts. Like I was like, whoa, what's happening? And like he had DM'd me kind of in the middle there and stuff when in the middle of that. And then finally just like I was just thinking, I was literally about to tell Rolla today, and then I just saw a message. Troy, hey dog, I'm alive. Got lost in some panties, but I'm okay. But but Troy is like one of the last great day gamers. There's so few. They're like it's such a rare game. I think day game, night game. Sort of thing.
Is the play right now to shift from Ukrainians to either Iranians or Israelites?
Oh, because of the fuck. I'm staying the fuck out of that shit, dog. I'm okay. But speaking of that, we're cool friends with like Casey as well. Casey is he's a part of kind of the Fresh and Fit kind of Castle Club group, and he's really famous for basically he was really one of the first guys to really document and show. I don't want to say passport broing, but more like he was already a guy getting pussy over here in the States.
Yeah.
But he decided to go to Colombia and just slayed. I mean, like it's just his content is just him making out, banging bitches all day. It was like big booty Latinas all day, every day.
Colombia is like, there's plenty of stuff to go around there.
Yeah. I have an idea for a goth club here in Vegas. I think it'll hit. Goth Latina club. He got it so famous, and then also some of the local governments in Medellin, they started coming after him because he would throw these huge parties. And like what happened is a lot of foreign guys and some of the top local guys would go to the parties and then, be banging all these girls and having fun and drinking. And then what happened is eventually a cohort of hating ass fucking locals started getting mad that like, what the fuck, you coming here and just banging all our bitches?
Yeah.
And they started shutting down some of his parties, and they started kind of coming after him a little bit. And I won't say the whole, because I will have him on here one day to like tell the whole story. But he's in Brazil now, so he's kind of moved the whole like thing down there. And then also one thing that's happened that he said is that he's like, I was actually dating these girls. I would actually date these girls, and actually would like it wasn't a transactional, like I'm giving them money or sure, we go to eat and stuff and have a good time, but like I wasn't like buying them purses or nothing.
Yeah.
And now what's happening is that because it became such a meme, go to Colombia, that it starts like the girls have now become sort of like damn near half hookers, where like a lot of guys are just basically paying for play.
Oh wow!
Instead of just like you meet Katrina down there, and then like, hey, it's nice to meet you, and then you guys were going a date, you guys were fuck, and then actually maybe have a relationship. Now it's just basically it's becoming extremely transactional, oversaturated. Exactly. Yeah. And then he's saying like it's crazy because it's like girls I've met in the past, they're trying to extort me for cash, and I'm like, dog, no, like what, no, like what, like so he's moved it down to Brazil and stuff, but. Brazil is a little more dangerous, if I'm being completely honest.
Yeah. Like even Rio has some seedy parts, right? Like quite a few.
Which parts?
Rio.
Yeah. Oh no. Yeah. Rio. Yeah. You go in the favelas. And
that's like probably the better area of the whole country, right?
Well, yeah, because it's jungle.
Sao Paulo
is way better.
I don't know, honestly, because they're both like equally, kind of the same,
right?
I guess more advancement. Sao Paulo, because it's a bigger city, pretty sure.
Casey Redbeard killing in Colombia. He's definitely killing Colombia. But it's this whole thing where like it's just why the whole thing about, and this is all has to do with crypto, because he's dealing with stuff like that too, because guess what, you need to have some money that's borderless, and it's smart to do so, because what happens if you got robbed? Well, you still got your seed phrase, and you still got your wallets. You're okay. You're like, you're not zeroed out. It's a whole thing that one of the big things that we teach in the crypto mindset course is basically, I call them condom wallets, but compartmentalization, which is fucking Celsius, which is basically you don't have a central point of failure, right? You spread the risk. Like you have Solana coins on this, but you have some of your more degenerate stuff over here, and your meme coins over here. And if one of them gets hacked, you're not zeroed out in the ecosystem. And you have a thing, and you have a greater thing for like your dummy stuff with like your OG, your Bitcoin you're storing, or your Ethereum, or maybe some stables you just don't want to touch because you're saving it. This is why, like, we've always recommended Trezor over Ledger, but it's all about whatever you use. Hopefully you're using Ledger less. That
was just such a scam.
They did some damage to themselves on that one. That one's pretty bad.
It's like, yeah, you could do an Apple, new iPhone, iPod, or whatever, but not the thing you're fucking storing your money on. You don't need to like continuously upgrade that shit.
Yeah, because they're trying to find ways to siphon more cash out of it. Yeah. So, okay, so with that, right? You want to have a certain wallet that's just I call it a dumb vault or dumb vault, right? Basically, you don't need all the frills and whistles. You need just to send money to it. Once the money's there, it's never let's just say you have it on a PC. You buy a PC, whatever you buy, right? That's just for that alone. You log in, you send money to it, you check your balances and stuff. That's it. It's never connected. It's never connected to Uniswap. It says it hasn't connected to anything else. That's all it does. All you ever do from it is send and receive, and turn it off. Right. That's it. And doing that gives you this place where like you can store funds. Basically, there's no way for it to really be hacked without them French ganging you, essentially. It had to be some just ridiculous level of stuff. And that's why usually one of the first questions when people say someone managed to get into it was probably a family member.
Yeah.
It's usually as a family member and stuff. So this is why, like, when you get into crypto, be very selective who you tell about and stuff. And then this is why a lot of people do think, hey, I want to be on YouTube, but like I don't really want everyone to know, and it's true. Like like me and Charlie do lose something. We lose privacy.
Yeah.
We've lost a bit of privacy. Absolutely. It is sometimes I get creeped out. Like I get recognized a couple times, and there's like one time it creeped me out this weekend. Like, hey, and there was this guy who just came up to me at my gym. He's like, "What's up, dude? Oh my god, I saw you on GG stream. What's going on? Is this you right here? Yeah, it's me, dude." And I was mid bench set. Hey, what's up, man? And no, he was a cool guy and stuff, but it was just like so shocked. I was so used to just like, I'm just coming to the gym, just nothing normal, and then I'm just like, hey dog, and then literally just taking pictures and videos with the guy and a bunch of other people and stuff, and I'm like, oh shit, yeah. And then it gets that's only the very lightest, kind of nicest.
Oh yeah.
Then it gets to like scariness where it's like
people start following you don't know.
Liver King starts going after Joe Rogan.
Goddamn Liver King's on my ass all month.
Have you seen, what's the name of the guy who's trying to live forever or trying to live longer?
Oh, Brian Johnson.
So there's like, which way, Western man? Brian Johnson or Liver King? Choose your destiny. And they're both getting older looking.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the reason that guy looks like that too, one, do not be in the sun.
Mm.
UV rays fuck you up, make you look old. Two, steroids age you. They do. And the sun stuff's really crazy. And then three, I mean, part of it, the reason he looks so old is because he let his beard grow. If he cut all his hair normal, like let's just say, if I shaved my, let's say I shaved my beard and my mustache, I literally would look 5 or 6 years younger.
Yeah.
I look more like a kid.
Yeah.
Basically. Yeah. Yeah. Did someone say Wrench Gang? That's right, Moonpill.
Yeah, he had an interesting question, or Miscomb did, right? He asked me this question on my stream yesterday.
They're both named Brian Johnson.
Brian.
No, the Liver King's actually named.
Oh, really?
Okay, I'm gonna search.
Search that up. No way, dude.
Interesting, but no. Miscomb had an interesting question there for you that he asked on my stream yesterday about becoming a millionaire.
Let me see. Oh, this one. Okay, yeah. So I asked Charlie yesterday, but Miguel, for motivational purposes, how did it feel and how did you react to when you became a crypto millionaire? I was super, super happy about it, but it happened kind of like, it happened and then I didn't notice for a few weeks to a month. And then I was like, oh shit, wow.
Screenshot time.
Yeah. But I did not want to YouTube until I hit like that $1 million.
Yeah.
Like I just hit it. I was like my skin of my teeth, I hit it, and I was like, wow. Well, I got no it's do or die now. You said you wouldn't do it until then. All right, fine. And then I started, you know, and I still would be kind of a girl about it because I was like, oh, let me podcast first, like because I don't know if I want to show my face out there, you know.
At the very beginning stages, I was like, I wasn't sure if I wanted to do YouTube exactly like that either, but I was like, probably better that way. So I was just like, fuck it, let's do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, his name is actual Brian Johnson. Look, Brian Michael Johnson.
Oh, that's funny.
But spelled different. But
yeah.
Which way, Western man?
Brian with an IA or Brian with a Y?
That's fucking crazy, dude. Like,
yes, he could.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, wait, Grayscale. Did you like Space and Time Coin? Grayscale has a trust with them now. Microsoft backed. Makes sense. Well, we could look into it a little bit. I mean, if it's on Grayscale, that's interesting. Charlie's looking it up right now.
Yeah, I was looking at Blameless.
Chilling
at 10 cents.
Yeah. Let's look at Wu Chain. So this is something really interesting that they said. So Vitalik Buterin warns that Sam Altman's backed digital ID project World may threaten online anonymity. Basically, if you have a thing that you have like a one-stop ID badge that tracks you around the planet.
Hey, this cryptographic signature has my fingerprint, my blood type, my eye scan.
Yeah.
The fuck.
He notes, despite using zero knowledge proofs, World's one ID per person model could link all user activity to a single identity. Bureau advocates for more pluralism identity system with centralized control, which is true. I mean, it is crazy. Like basically, because then what happens? Something you said when you were 16 comes back to you. Like when I run for president, they're gonna see all this fucking bullshit I did. I didn't do anything bad, but I just said a lot of shit. Yeah.
All those rugs back.
All those what rugs?
I'm joking.
Oh shit! Almost forgot this one. I was showing Charlie this on the elevator right here. The top. How long have we bag held?
Oh yeah.
Oh my god, dog.
Yeah,
this is how long you bag held.
Yeah, this is like probably I would say one of the best memes I've seen in a while here. Just like, damn, bro. You know, it'd be better. Like, it'd be at the bottom. It's like the Peter Schiff one.
Yeah.
Same thing. It's like they have the price of gold and Bitcoin at the bottom, and then the price of gold and Bitcoin at the bottom on the second picture. And like gold's the same. Bitcoin's gone up like 100x or 1000x. Same. Like have the price of Ripple at the bottom there and the price of Bitcoin.
Yeah.
It would just be hilarious. But yeah, that'd be the only touch I'd add to it.
Like, this is how long I've held. That is crazy. But he was kind of losing his hair right here, but he's actually, that's what money right here. He's probably like, he's maintained his hair a little bit too, which is good. And me and Charlie were talking about some guys gray badly. Like this is actually gray's pretty good.
Yeah, actually, in my opinion, he looks a little bit better as he got older.
No, he definitely he masculinized himself. Look, his face is even a little longer in the picture. He looks a little more like he has more test. He probably on testosterone now and taking care of himself a little bit too.
Yeah.
He does look a little bit more. It's kind of crazy. His older self seems more in shape somehow.
Yeah, because he's richer.
Yeah. Look at his smiles. He looks happier. Look, the sun's shining in his. You see the billionaire side?
The first picture, he's ready.
He's in a dungeon.
He's what do you call it? Sacrificing a bunch of stuff to actually build the damn thing.
In the cubicle.
He's in a cubicle with the whiteboard behind him. This fucker's walking outside with a suit.
Now he's in a penthouse.
Look, you could tell. Like this is a joke I said. You can tell how rich a white guy is by how bright his shirt is. Look at Brian Johnson. Look at his shirt over here when he's younger, and look at that. Look at the crispness of that linen white in his shirt. That's pretty good.
There you go.
Yeah. But yeah, long time. You guys got to lift today. 2 more weeks. I lifted last night. The shoulders. My back hurts from bag holding. So let me read some super chats real quick. Okay, Upstream Young with the $10 super chat. What do you think about my portfolio? I've got 30K BTC. Good sir. Woo, 30K Soul, Sui, Tau, Sky, Super roughly 1,000 in Tia Ray. You don't know. I mean, it's good. I mean, look, the majority of portfolio is in safe stuff. You have Bitcoin, stability. You got Sol, Sui, Tau. I mean, just those three alone. I mean, you're sitting in a real. You had some interesting Sky. I'm not that familiar with Sky personally.
That was MakerDAO.
Oh, is that Maker? Well, yeah, it's okay. Project
Maker pumps sometimes.
Yeah, it pumps sometimes.
Yeah.
Super. Yeah, super's cool. Tia, Ray, Jito. Yeah, I mean, I think your portfolio is doing really well. I mean, you've obviously got a big position right there in Bitcoin. That's good. Sol is going to do very well for you. Sui's going to perform really well for you. So I think you're doing really good right here. The only thing is, like, yeah, I guess you could add more of a meme coin here and there, but besides that, I mean, it's pretty rock solid.
Yeah, you're pretty good. And what do you call it? Any of the stuff that's like maybe like Jito or ENA or whatever. Yeah, maybe it runs, maybe it doesn't. But even if it doesn't, the other stuff will hold up the bags.
Yeah, you have roughly about $80,000 in real solid projects, and you got another 25,000 or 23,000 in like more like risk plays and stuff like that. But like that's pretty good. You got maybe $105,000 portfolio, $110,000 portfolio. That could do very well. You can hit. I mean, worst case, multiple six figures.
Yeah.
If you're really lucky, it goes $1 million.
Right.
That'd be good. Mostly probably off the back of Sol and Sui, probably in Tau.
Yeah.
The thing is that you could get 100x on like one of those $1,000 coins, but then it's not enough to get you to the mill. You need something with like, imagine if you had 10,000 one of those coins that does 100x, and then you're like, wow, I really made a lot of money.
Polemos for the win.
Polemos for the win. We panned back to Charlie's wearing a Polemos shirt.
It's gonna be like Wayne's World.
Oh yeah, wait, more like Polemos hat. He's got the Polemos shoes.
Well, right now so far I've only got the mug and the schedule book.
It's like people shill shit for money.
No
token go up.
Oh my god, Majestic Ninja with the $2 euro. $2 euro. What is your prediction on Sonic? And I guess you handle Polemos, I'll handle Sonic. Yeah.
Sure.
So I'm expecting to start going up the distribution of during I think in like 2 weeks from now, we're going to get the first liquid portion of the airdrop for the season 1 of the Sonic airdrop, which there's going to be 3 seasons. We're already in season 2 right now, accumulating points right now. I expect Sonic, maybe on the launch of it, we could see a slight price down, and then we'll start kind of climbing back up to, I think, the 40 to 60 cent range on Sonic. And I think now that it's on Coinbase, I think we're starting to see more purchases and stuff like that. The last thing holding back like Sonic a tiny bit is Gemini still hasn't added Sonic. They're still selling Phantom right now, which is very weird. So someone was talking about that. They've been trying to contact the guys at Gemini, but they're just not responding.
Oh, really?
Like, yeah. So I have no idea. They might have to backroom deal them. Hey, give us all your fucking Phantom. We'll just convert it for you.
Right.
Just give it to us. We'll just convert it, because it's like we can't allow a major exchange in the US just to be like bag holding in a liquid. I mean, like literally it's going to go zero. Yeah. So kind of crazy. Oh, and then for PMLS, what do you think?
Prediction as to where it can go?
Yeah.
Is that the question?
Maybe in the next 3-4 months. Let's just say something like that.
Okay. So, I mean, just in the short term, right? Like it came out basically at 3.5 cents. it probably was going to hold about. Well, I mean, worst case, I think it holds if it dumps down to like 7 cents. I think it's going to get bought up really heavily. But I think for the most part, if the cheapest I see it going right now is maybe about 8 cents. If it were to have some volatility over the next, let's say, few days. Once we get into the next couple of weeks, I think they start having some traction with a lot of different groups. I'll just say that. We're going to talk about it more deeply in the Crypto Mindset course. So some of you guys with the Citadel and Crypto Mindset course last Wednesday already had the flash webinar to introduce you to their new token and the launch and everything. So you guys all had a chance there for about a day to get in at 3.5 or 4 cent Polemos, right? And now it's just chilling at 10 cents. So yeah, I think that 8 to probably about 14 cent range is where it kind of bounces around for a while. Once it gets back past about 18 cents or higher, breaks 20 cents, that's where it can really start running. And yeah, this cycle, I mean, it's a low cap, so if money starts coming into it pretty heavily, I would say a good price would be like good stable price would be like 35 cents by, let's say, the end of the quarter. So like, let's say sometime in September, let's say it stabilizes there. It might have gotten up to like $1 or a little bit more in that time. And it could have, maybe crashed down to like 20 cents or something in that time as well. So just depends on, like how successful a lot of their marketing campaigns and stuff like that will be, which based upon, the different connections that they have, I think will be pretty decent. But so for the short term, I think as long as you're buying it under 15 cents or definitely under 20 cents, you're going to get some good X's. It's when it gets above 20 cents where it starts to become a little expensive, for the people who had the chance to get in early. But of course, throughout the cycle, if it does continue having success, and right now it's barely even scratched the surface. Once if it continues to have that success and that push out, then it can get pretty good in the number of X's that it can do within the cycle. I mean, not the craziest, but one of the crazier price predictions on the Communitas website, which is interesting, on their moon sheet. I think something realistic would be like, $3.40 Polemos or whatever. That'd be close to 100x. I think towards the end of the cycle, it could hit that, which would be quite wild. And that'd still be a 10x from maybe in September once if it stabilizes around 30, 40 cents. But, that's pure speculation.
Was that
pure
3 billion?
Speculation. Sorry?
That's what, like 3 billion market cap?
No, not even close. Like, it's like 100 billion. Or no.
Well, isn't it at 100?
No. That's like 10 million. No, I'd have to look. Because, like, basically it came out at $1 million market cap.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
The market cap on what do you call it? Dex Creator is wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's only a billion tokens.
Yeah, I think you minus a 0 from the market cap on Dex Creator.
Yeah.
So it's actually 10 million.
It says the market cap is $105 million.
Yeah,
That's not true.
It's actually 10, I think.
Yeah.
Or 10 at 30. So it'd be about what? It'd be about 3 right now.
So Great Britain with the $5 super chat. Hey Miguel, what do you think of Gigadad on Sol? So I checked it out. It's basically damn near at 0. It's at 28,000 market cap. I mean, I can show the chart for a second, but I mean, the thing is, I don't know. It's just full risk on. If you want to throw some money at it, because hopefully you can recover, but it's like nothing but sells basically. I'd have to look at the website just even to look at this thing, but like,
That's not gonna show.
yeah, no, I'll share in a minute. It's like it's a little basic and stuff like that. There's no taxes on it and stuff, but I don't know. It's a super low. It's a super low market cap token. Risk on. If you like it and you think it can come back, a small amount of money could turn into a lot if it recovers.
Yeah.
It looks like it kind of peaked out. If I did the math right, it either peaked out at $200,000 or it peaked out at like $2 million, and then now it's at 28,000. That's kind of low. So I'm guessing it's probably $200,000 top, and it crashed down. If you want to buy some, go ahead, brother. But like that's something that like I'm just not entirely sure about it. So you have any last thoughts, Charlie?
No, just what do you call it? I think we have some opportunity here. While the market's just chilling, I think once we get into between the opening of the week to the 4th of July, there should be plenty of volatility in the next 1 week. So just watch, for Bitcoin holding above minimum 104, holding above 106 would be ideal, and then regaining above 109, 110,000 would really be what it needs to kind of start recovering. So probably where we are. around July 4th will make, the month of July a lot more clear for where it's going. So that's why when we have the thesis webinar on the evening of July 5th, we'll have a lot of good data in already at that point, kind of see which way the 60-day cycle is going. And then that can affect, how we are strategizing in the crypto mindset course. So we keep things, strong convictions held loosely. So that way we can pivot for you guys to make July and August and September, of course, too, the more profitable months here. But yeah, I think there's a lot of plays happening within the course that are very good money-making plays that have several X's. We're starting to get into that part of the cycle where when new projects come out, actually a lot of X's are possible relatively quickly. So we're going to be paying attention to a lot of coins coming out and a lot of stuff that you guys can make some plays on. So, $1,000 in the course will most likely pay for the course plus some, as long as you're paying attention and you're focused on actually making the most of the course, which is why we have the Take Profits course.
Beautiful, man.
Yeah, and we'll be back. For Moon Gang tomorrow.
Yeah, Moon Gang tomorrow, man. It's gonna be a really, really good show, you guys. And who knows? We might have a shot or two. We'll see. We'll see what we do. We'll see what we do, man. So thank you so much for joining me, you guys. Catch you guys tomorrow on Moon Gang. It's gonna be on Charlie's channel, Cultivate Crypto.
Yep.
Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and yeah, man. Close on Monday.
Peace.